Yo, so you guys have probably, if you watch the Blaze and see me on the Blaze, you've seen me talk about this before, and that's the NBA and the kind of weird spot that I'm in with it, or I'm at with it, because you've seen that attire that I've rocked. I'm a big sports guy. Grew up being an athlete. I'm just a big sports guy altogether. And for the first time ever, I mean, we're going into the playoffs, man. We're going into the playoffs. I think it just started as the day I shot this video. The day before I shot this video. And I'm not even like stoked. I haven't watched the game when the regular season picked back up. I hadn't watched the game. And you've probably seen the articles and stuff that talks about the ratings. They're getting just toe up by other shows that generally they should probably be getting toe up by. You thought that because we were deprived of basketball and things like that, people would just be itching to see it again in numbers. But the elephant in the room is the NBA has, because the individuals that are in the NBA are a bunch of advocates of social justice. They've took it upon themselves to really use this league and a platform to blast it in your face. It's on their jerseys, social messaging things on their jerseys, on the courts. It's tough to watch if you're a guy that knows definitely when you see, it's just, look, people like myself watch sports for escapism. And I could go to a Mavericks game, for example, and the guy next to me that I just met is cheering on for the same team. He could be the total opposite end of the political spectrum. And we're just being normal guys, cheering, having some fun, common goal. And that's the beauty of sports. Is that, and that's, y'all know I hate politics. Things that brings out the worst in people. I am a libertarian because of that. I mean, that's what ultimate libertarianism is to try to rid the world of politics, the evil thing. It brings out the absolute worst in people. But I think it's a beautiful thing in sports because it's one thing, among others, that it is escapism and it is a way that people connect no matter where they're at on the political side, social and political side. But because NBA has this, they drew a line in the sand. If that's something they want to do, that's something they want to do. But it's just, I don't care to I don't want to see the commercials. I just want to see y'all hoop, bro. That's it. That's it. And I'm not one of those guys that's telling folks to shut up and dribble. No. It'd be one thing if these weirdos had their own positions on their own private lives. We can agree, disagree, and do whatever, I can tell you that LeBron James' political position is stupid. That's fine, But it's one thing for him to do that on his private accounts and what have you. It's another for the league that you're watching and the games that you're watching to endorse this buffoonery, right? That's a completely different animal. And they're drawing a line in the sand, and they're like, yeah, this is where we're at. We're supporting these rather leftist movements. And that's what it is, and we're going to show it to you over and over and over. And it's tough for me to watch. And I think that can be said for a lot of other people. Now, people would blame other things. They've even seen conflicting things regarding the rating. Some people are like, oh, they're in great shape, and then others are like, and if you actually look at the metrics, it's like, nah, they're not in the best shape. They're not doing that well as they should be and could be. Now, how long is that going to last, I guess, is the golden question. I have absolutely no idea. I think there are people that they have fans. They have super fans that are, of course, leftists. They have absolutely no problem with it. There are some individuals that are going to be able to stomach that. So I'm not acting like nobody's watching it, of course. It's just as an example, when those ratings came out for that big, crazy game against it was actually the Mavericks against I think was Blazers. Dame Lillard had been going off, and they were going up against Hannity and and Tucker Carlson, and they had like triple and quadrupled their viewership. It's insane. But, you know, it is what it is. I guess if that's the route that they want to go, I just don't see myself being a fan of National Basketball Association if that's what they want to do. I may catch a game or so, but I'm just not watching it for that. And I wonder if at some point that will hurt their bottom line enough. Because, look, in the short term, these are very rich companies, very rich leagues. In the short term, that's something that they can manage. But if that stuff extends and the viewership lacks for an extended period of time, at what point in time does the pendulum start swinging the other way and the guys that are actually invested in this say, okay, guys, we have to, what the hell? Oh, yeah, we're just going to have the music, I guess, just start playing randomly. I probably hit it with my hand. Let me get this off here. I don't even know where it's playing. Shut up. All right, anyway. Sorry about that. But how long is this going to last? As the time you go, you know, further in time, if it goes in the next season, they're still plastering stuff all over your face. Like, will they be like, you know, we're losing money, we're missing out on money? We probably should cut it out. We made our point. I don't know, but I'm not gonna be watching it to the degree. Like, look, man, y'all know I would watch like every Mavericks game. Even if I was streaming while the Mavericks game on, I have it on another monitor, watching every, like, that's my, you know, that's where I was at with it. Nah, just like, it's on, you know, whatever. Luka Doncic scored this. And I was like, and that sounds something that's unreal for a super fan like me. But it's tough to watch, man. It really is tough to stomach that stuff and see all of that. And some people are gonna be like, well, it's just on the shirt, on their jerseys, and you can get over it. Like, yeah, I could, but I don't want to watch that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that don't. I do think in all aspects of life, and this is some optimism for you, and some of you guys are probably more pessimistic than I am. I do think that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. I think it just maybe get worse before it gets better. When you look at how the advocates of social justice have infested generally everything, culturally it does always swing back the other way, and there will be a movement of people, and it may actually go too far the other way, but it will swing back the other way. And culturally, I think we can get this back on the rails. But at what point in time do the companies say, we're losing too much money, we're missing out on too much money? Even if it's not just operating at a loss, and more so, you could make more money if you just simply didn't do that. You know, and then maybe alternatives are going to start coming up, maybe not to leagues, but in other industries. You've seen that in the comic book industry, for example, where alternatives start to come up and people have taken it upon themselves to try to take that fan base just by presenting an alternative to the garbage that's already out. So maybe we'll start seeing a lot of that stuff, and it'll be nothing but their own doing because they had the access, they had first use, right? They were more notable. And then if some alternative comes on and just says, we're just going to do what you're not doing, or more so what you're doing, we're just not going to do. We'll see. But man, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. It's just hard to watch for me, and I keep hearing these stories about the ratings, and I wonder if that's going to last long enough. I don't know. I mean, if people just decide, all right, I try to stick it out for too long, I just got to have some basketball, and they just start watching basketball again, we won't even be having this conversation. And then we'll just look at basketball like it's just a thing that people watch, and to be lectured about social justice. But on a serious note, if that never gets resolved, let's say if they just say we're all in and we're going to continue to do this for years, and the ratings continue to take a hit for years, it's going to be interesting if the league themselves or even the owners say, look, we got to stop this. Our league is hurting because of it.